Hello and welcome to Seth 2.0 TV. I am your host, Seth. This is going to serve as your advisory warning little clip thing. Please be advised the following content in said video contains swearing and or controversial topics in discussion. Progress at your own risk. I cannot be held accountable for your feelings on the matter. And with that, please enjoy the future content. Thank you very much, and hope you enjoy. Hello, and welcome to Seth 2.0 TV. I am your host, Seth. So this is going to be, or serve as the, what do you want to call it? Philosophy video, guided discussion. It's going to be the first of one of those two. Anyways, so when I got back from all sorts of random nonsense, I found out via Facebook and some other things. Apparently, there's a rather interesting development with a really retarded YouTuber, and that's going to be the discussion of this video, i.e. Sam Pepper. Now, for those of you who don't know or aren't up to date or aren't familiar, Sam Pepper is a YouTuber, a really famous YouTuber for his pranks and his horrible fashion and hair. Oh my god. Okay, besides that, let's say, okay, seriously, if you've seen his videos or seen his pictures, come on, what the hell is with that hair? Like, dude, oh my god. I've been waiting for years to say that. Oh my god. Anyways, what seems like years, anyways. I don't even know. It's been a long time I've been waiting to say that. Okay, seriously though. Sam Pepper, and his pranks. And the discussion of this is going to be about him, his pranks in the current situation, as well as the fact and concept of prank videos. Let's start here. Did the I don't get, like did the definition of prank change when I wasn't looking at all? Like, come on. The hell. I'm a former pranker. I used to do that a lot. Me and my friends actually used to go out and have prank wars. We spend months pranking each other and pranking other people. And, you know, sorry if you don't like the fact that that's part of my past. It is. I gotta accept it. But, like, the definition changed when I wasn't looking. Going around and tricking a girl to look the other way and then pinching her butt or slapping her butt, that's not a prank. That's you being a childish, immature freaking moron. That's not the definition of a prank. That's not even, I mean, some people can argue that pranks are childish, whatever. That's not a prank. That's stupidity. That's drama, attention, horror, actions. I mean, that's, let's face it, that's what it is. And, like, why? Some of the stuff that he has done over the years, and I try to avoid his videos as much as possible, but I do video funny stuff, funny prank stuff. His videos are retarded. He does some incredibly stupid pranks, both from an intelligence level and just because they're stupid. And the fact that once he started getting the wrong kind of attention, he starts making up bullshit. Like, he straight up is like, oh, well, the video was actually supposed to represent how females are misused and abused, and, you know, it was a social experiment, and, you know, you see, I did a video where a girl went and pinched guys' asses, and blah, 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 blah. Stop. That's bullshit, and we all know it. Don't think that we're stupid enough for a second to believe that at all. You're a prank YouTuber, and what you were doing was obviously an attempt to prank. You had a fake arm in a hoodie. Come on! It's not a social experiment. That's not, you know, trying to get a certain type of reaction or raise awareness or anything like that. You're fucking stupid. You were pranking someone in something that well, pranking anyways, and you thought it was funny in your own childish, immature-ish freaking stupidity level, and you got caught, and you got fricked by the internet, and the collective internet, which you managed to unite the internet on something. That's not easy to do. War can't even do that. Homicides can't even do that. Freaking mass murderers can't even do that. You have managed to unite the internet. Holy crap. You screwed up badly. Come on. Oh my god. Oh. So, yeah. Just crap went through your mind, dude. That's not, no. Your shit isn't, you know, some of your other videos, too, of, like, just, you know, like, oh, that's stealing a kiss from a freaking girl. That's not a prank. That's you being a freaking dumbass. And a childish brat who apparently can't get laid on his own. And can't get a kiss on his own. You have to actually steal it. I mean, that's forcefully in a stupid way. Or some of the other crap that you have done over the years. Year, whatever. The prolonged time period of your videos. You got what you deserved. Your career is ruined. Congratulations. And, oh, by the way, you're a famous immature child on YouTube. That's what you were famous for. And now you can't do it anymore. Because no one's going to watch you. And you're not going to get your ads. And you're not going to get your revenue from it. And all this stuff. And guess what? Nobody's going to hire you above minimum. Above $10 an hour. No one's going to hire you for any job that is worth a damn anymore. Your sponsors have dropped you and disavowed you. I mean, you're fucked. Congratulations. Maybe you should think a little bit ahead of, you know, your actions. Think before you actually do something. Because, well, congratulations. You're a freaking idiot. On to part 2 of this. As with everything that is some kind of sex scandal or anything like that, with any kind of celebrity, either internet or not, or any kind of person in public persona or notification, it always happens without fail. Especially when it's a dude doing something to a girl of some kind. Unbelievable. So part of what brought this to my attention is as soon as all this stuff happened, they all started coming out of the woodworks. All the, oh, he did that to me too. Oh yeah, he was flirting with me. Oh yeah, he was sexually harassing me too. Oh no. Stop! If he really did this shit to you, right, and you actually gave a shit about it, one, you wouldn't have waited till now to say something. And two, You would have filed a police report or something. File a police report. Do something to that nature. One, do I care of your situation? If it was legitimate and it was proven to be legitimate and on some principled, fundamental level, yes, I do. On some principle, fundamental level, I care. What he did was wrong. You know, and it fits within his character. But that being said, your individual cases, don't care. I'm sorry. My sympathy for you is not there, and I know that's harsh, and I know what I'm about to say is even harsher, and is going to be controversial, and considering I'm starting up a channel, maybe not so bright, but I believe in being integrity and telling it as it is. That's going to be something that is in this channel, and I'm sorry, but if he did this shit to you, for reals, go file a police report. Go press charges. Sue him. Something. But the fact that you haven't done that and then you've broadcasted it on the internet tells me one thing. You're after attention. That's all it is. And that kind of defeats the whole nobility of what you're doing. It's even gotten to the point where there's a video out there, and here's the really controversial point of this that I'm going to start entering into. So especially if you're easily offended on the subject of rape, and other people's opinions about certain things, alright? One, stop watching here. Two, if you continue watching, that's on you. And three, listen very carefully to how I say this and what I'm saying, because I'm going to be very precise in what I'm going to say here, okay? Rape is a horrible, horrible thing. It is a violation of someone's rights as a person. It is a violation of them as a living, sentient being. And it is almost universally abhorred upon. It is a horrible, horrible thing. And it is not something to be made light of. I take it very seriously when people make accusations of rape, even when it has nothing to do with me, as does everybody else. There is a video out where someone has gone around, essentially, and made a video where she has written it down and has gone into great detail. And it sounds pretty legit. It does, okay? It sounds pretty legit. About how this dude essentially has raped her. How Sam Pepper has essentially raped her. Now, I don't know the whole story. I don't know the truth, and I'm not a court. So, my judgment on whether or not it's true or not is not part of this discussion. I'm going to stick to what I do know and what's factual, and to my personal philosophical beliefs, okay? Because I am a man of principles. I will never break on my principles, no matter who the heck cries about it. I believe in sticking up for what I believe in. And I admire and respect anyone who sticks up and fights for what they believe in. Even if what they believe in, I disagree with. But I will always respect for the fact that they are sticking up and fighting for what they believe in. If he really raped you, alright, file a police report. Go see a therapist. Get help. Help that can actually do something. If the purpose of you making this video is in order to gain massive online support, good on you. And thank you for doing that. only you can really know what your particular motivations for uploading that is. So I'm not going to be judgeful. I'm just talking about principles and philosophies. If what you did was for the sole purpose of joining that bandwagon of people claiming shit has happened and just trying to take it to the next step, and he didn't really do that to you, and you know he didn't really do that to you, shame on you. That is disgusting, if that is the case. Like I said, it sounds pretty legitimate the way it was written down. And if it isn't, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt, okay. Thank you for trying to raise up situational awareness. But if that wasn't the case, and honestly, you're the only one who can really know that, again, shame is all I gotta say. That being said, if it did legitimately happen, file charges. Do it, file charges. And I understand, trust me, I understand that not everybody... Being raped is a very traumatizing experience. It is. I actually have 2 friends who have been raped. They're both guys, actually, believe it or not. And that's another thing, really quick on a side note. Guys get raped too. And not just by guys. Guys can, in fact, get raped by women. Rape, by definition, is non-consensual sex, and it happens. It happens. It's one of those horrible things that I wish I could just wish away. But it is a very serious thing, and you should never pull that card in order to gain notoriety or, just trying to get your way or get out of something, or because you're ashamed of having sex with somebody, or you're just mad at your boyfriend or something like that. That's not, you don't do that. I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying, philosophically speaking, please, to all people, not just women, men, whatever intersection between the two there is, please just remember that that is a very serious thing. And I also understand that because it is traumatizing, and there are numerous cases, real-world cases, where people who are and have been both sexually harassed and raped bottle it up and don't talk about it. And that's traumatizing. And I get that. The thing is that, if the only way... People who upload videos like these, that doesn't fit the profile and definition of, of being that type of bottled up isolationist cocooning. It's not what happens. The first people that these people tend to open up to is friends, close friends, real world friends, not the internet. Or just writing it down on pieces of papers in a diary. I mean, yeah, I suppose a vlog is kind of like that, but it's different. It psychologically speaking, it is different. And it doesn't make sense to me that if you're making these claims, why are you not... You're obviously not bottling it up. Why are you not doing something other than just saying, hey, he did this? Why are you not fighting to have this fucker locked up if that happened? Why? I don't understand that. And that's the part that really makes me question the legitimacy of it. I looked, and so have other people, whether or not files have been charged. I mean, those things are on public record. They're very easy to look up and find. Okay, but anyways, all I'm saying is, I find that stuff very, very serious, and I'm a naturally untrusting person. I have been backstabbed too many times in my life to trust anything that someone says without some kind of source and citation and that kind of thing, or having personally seen it. I mean, I try to give a benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, there's something in my mind that always stays. You know, when someone says, "Oh yeah, I'm military too," the first thing I say is in my head is he really a veteran? Because there's a lot of people doing that too. I mean, there's all over the place. We see it every day, every day. In fact, I ran across 2 people recently, in a military supply store. Why would you do that when we obviously know? You know, all right. So on to part 3 of this. I'm gonna leave that previous section alone at this point. And that is the concept of safe pranking and stupid pranking and just plain being a fucking idiot. There are pranks, right? Well, first of all, what is a prank? A prank, a legitimate prank, is doing something to get a reaction out of someone for comedy. That is what a prank is. And although humor is vastly wide in area and is generally doing something for the point of being an asshole in a friendly way. Things like putting people's hands in waters and while they're duct taped to the bed, or taking out a few springs on a spring bed and watching someone fall through, or making someone walk along the road or a strip or whatever and have them fall into a pool of shaving cream, or going around and TPing someone's tree just because it would irritate the crap out of them because they would have to take it down. You know, spraying chalk onto someone's car who's double parked, like a little line across the thing, is not permanently damaging the car. And that's really the key, is you're not spraying paint on it, or something that can't be removed, or something that can scratch it. You're not vandalizing someone's stuff permanently. And even that is kind of an if. Scaring someone with horns, tripping someone safely, tripping someone, that kind of thing right there. Obviously, situational based is a big key. Some of these things you can do to your friends, some of these things that you should never do to some random person. Pranks are removed from pranks, the category of pranks, when you start doing it vindictively, because that's no longer a prank, that's revenge. Such as throwing a smiley face or a penis on someone's hood out of bologna sandwiches. Yeah. By the way, this strips the paint, just so you know. I mean, it strips the paint almost instantaneously. It's not a good thing. You know, that is no longer a prank. Second thing is in my personal opinion anyways, part of what makes a prank is that the person who got pranked finds the prank funny after they calm down. I have been pranked many times. Like I said, I'm a prankster. I expect it from my fellow pranksters. You know, it's happened in my past. And you know what? Some of these things are absolutely hilarious to me after I calm down. And you know what? Some of these people are still my friends. I mean, you know, that's kind of the point. But at the same time, there's things that you should never ever do. For other purposes. Anything that is remotely sexual harassment, if you're not doing it to one of your friends or your wife or something like that, someone who will understand, that's no longer a prank. If you do something that is more or less well, plain stupid, like getting up dressed up in a clown costume with a fake knife that looks real and chasing someone down in the middle of the night in a desolate, isolated area. That might be funny to some people watching it. Heck, I mean, to a degree, I think it's funny. That being said, though, I think it's utterly stupid, and you should never do it. And I find it funny because someone's getting scared, but at the same time, I'm utterly stupefied at the fact that someone is legitimately doing that. And or doing something similar to being in an empty garage at night and dressed up in a hockey mask and wielding a machete and having a dummy or a actor or someone dressed up in blood like you just killed them or something, and then chasing after somebody or trying to scare them that way. That might be funny to a degree. At the same time, it pisses the shit out of me. And it pisses the shit out of me more than it being funny to me. Because it's not really that good of a thing. And over the years, I have actually... I mean, right now, if I was to watch some of those videos, I wouldn't laugh one bit. And that's just more because of the more I think about it, and the more I have philosophized about it, and thought of the consequences about it. And that's partially why I'm not a prankster anymore. Simply because of the fact that if you do some of these things, one of these days, you're going to not like the consequences. For example, running and chasing after someone with a clown costume and a knife. One of these days, you're going to come across somebody who actually has the training and the balls to stand up to you. And if they have a knife or some other kind of weapon, such as a gun, and they feel it necessary, and they have they have that distinction to not hesitate, you are going to end up either critically injured or dead. And I'm one of those people. I'm a United States Marine. I have trained for most of my life in one martial arts form or another, as well as specializing in knife combat. I actually prefer to carry a knife over a gun. I am more proficient with a knife than I am a gun, and that is saying something because I am an expert marksman. I train and practice with my knife every day, and with multiple kinds of knives. I have a small arsenal. I am good with them. I also have the training to identify and assess threats, and to not let my fear conquer me, and to not hesitate. I can personally say, with some degree level of certainty, that if I was walking down an empty garage and I saw somebody acting like a maniac with a fake bloodied up knife that I didn't know was fake, and a hockey mask looking like a serial murderer, and there was this fake corpse on the ground, charge at me with this stuff, or try to act intimidating, the first thing I would do, I would grab my knife. Or my gun, depending on what I'm carrying. And if you were actually charging at me when it was happening and you were close enough that I thought that I wouldn't have a second chance, I would shoot to kill. If I thought my life was on the line, I would shoot to kill. I would stab to kill. Because I wouldn't be sure, depending on the situation. I mean, obviously it's situation based and you can't really know until it actually happens, but watching some of the things that have happened, like one where some midget popped out of a bus stop thing with a knife and chased people down the road. If they charged at me like that, I would draw and shoot. If I had a firearm. And that's specifically because, and speaking as a knife fighter here, if someone with a knife is within 3 meters, so 9 feet for American people, if they know what they're doing, they can get to you and kill you before you can draw and shoot. If you have a knife and you are charging at me and you are within 9 meters, I will shoot to kill you. I'm just laying it out truthfully and honestly and as seriously as possible. Please understand that if you are one of these people on YouTube making videos in such fashion, please stop doing it. There are actual numerous cases where stuff like that has gone horribly wrong. There was a dude who would essentially walk around with a machete and a face mask at night and come up to people and try and scare them. And one of these people drew a freaking firearm and almost shot the dude. Almost. He was, I mean, if you slow motion, there's actually a video of it where this was out. This is like 4 years ago or something like that. Where someone this particular case happened, and someone actually went in and they slow motioned and blew it up. The dude was pulling the trigger. He had it aimed and he was pulling the trigger. And the particular firearm he was using, thank God, was a double-stage firearm trigger. If it wasn't modified, assuming it was stock, it would be double-stage. And if it wasn't for the cameraman literally running out saying, "It's a prank, it's a prank, it's fake, it's not real," the dude would have been shot. There's an actual incident in the 90s. You can go and look this up. It was in, I believe, I'm trying to remember this. I did the research and I can't seem to remember specifics, but I'm pretty sure it was Nebraska. In the 90s, where someone was running around trying to look like a serial murderer and scaring people at night. And he did it to the wrong person one day, and that dude shot him 3 times in the chest, and he died. And now that dude who did that has to live with that. Has to live with the fact that he didn't hesitate and he defended himself when you were doing something stupid that you shouldn't have been doing. And that's the real issue. That is the really, really big issue here. The part that just blows my mind is that some of these YouTubers and people who do these prankings out in public, they don't think of the consequences. And even some of these other ones. There was one where some dude was just going around spray painting with chalk on some dude's car. The dude's car was perfectly parked right. There wasn't any reason that he was targeted except for the fact that he had a rich looking car. That was the whole reason of it. And the dude spray painted some chalk on it. And got caught while doing it. And the dude ran out and he tased. He pulled out a taser and he tased the living crap out of the dude, even knowing it was a prank. Because he didn't realize it. I mean, in his state, and this was all in the discussions and everything. It was in his state at the time that occurred. Defending one's property is a legal right of self-defense. And there is no duty to retreat or, duty to do minimal damage. In that particular state, at that particular time, he had every right to shoot to kill because the dude was pranking his car. That was the law in the state at the time. And dude should be really lucky that the dude wasn't an asshole. The dude was an asshole, but he was at least a decent asshole, and he only shot him with a taser instead of shooting him with a gun, which he had every legal right to do. Granted, I don't know if that's still currently the case. I can only attest for what was discussed at that particular situation. But even if it wasn't legal, let's be realistic. You're essentially doing the concept of bitch slapping someone in the face and not expecting them to be purposely trying to piss someone off, and then not expecting them to be the higher, more responsible person and not retaliate. Come on, seriously, people. You do pranks, they're going to retaliate. They are going to do that. We as human beings, when we get emotional, we don't always think. We act out of pure stupidity, and we act out of pure vengeance, and we do really, really things that can screw up the rest of our lives. I.e., depending on things, someone, if you walk up to me and slap me as a prank, I am going to beat the living shit out of you. And it's not going to be out of self-defense either. I am going to beat the living shit out of you purely because of the fact that you had the audacity to slap me. And I don't know who the hell you are. I mean, that's different than, like, if my girlfriend slapped me because I was saying something stupid. Or if some random woman, I walked up to some random woman and said, I don't know, what do people say that are freaking retarded? Hey, baby, would you like to suck my dick? No, or something like that, and then get slapped. That's completely different. But if you're just walking up to someone randomly and essentially doing a sucker slap because it's funny to you, expect to get the fuck beaten out of you. And that's not just me. That's anyone. Expect, if you walk up to someone who's... You don't know them. You don't know what they are. They could be a freaking Navy SEAL for all you know. They could be a freaking homosexual, or they could be some dude. And by the way, I bring up homosexuality just because you don't know who they are. That's the point. Not that they're good fighters or bad fighters or anything like that. Just clarification there. I actually have many, many friends who are homosexual, and honestly, they can kick my ass. That's why it came up to my mind, actually, because I know a lot of gay people, and I support what they do very much. And I can also attest firsthand that they can kick the living shit out of me. And I know how to fight. So, you don't know who they are. You don't know what they're capable of, what their personalities are, what their principles are. You don't know. They could be some random freaking homicidal maniac social killer, and you would never know. And they would remember, hunt you down, and kill you. You don't know. That's the thing. Joe Schmo can be anybody. And you don't know. And you're walking up doing stupid stuff to them. Some of the craziest, most psycho freaking mass murdering people out there are the people you would never suspect. Point in case is all the school shootings. It's the kids who got bullied. And finally they just snap. And they go off and do this shit. I mean, and I'm speaking from somewhat of a personal connection to this. I had family in Columbine. I had just literally left Santa Monica Community College's campus when the shooting down there happened. I was very, very lucky to leave before that shit happened. And it's the people who get abused. It's the people who are the victims of these stupid bullying, stupid fucking harassment, stupid fucking shit that often do this. And one of these days, who knows, you might just walk up, do some random freaking crap that you think is hilarious, such as a knockout game or something, and you're going to not walk away. I have actually been... I want to say the victim. I have had someone try the knockout game on me. This happened a couple months ago. I And I bring this up because some people consider that to be a prank. I think it's fucking, or a dare game, or something like that, and I think it's fucking stupid. I was walking around the lake at 1 o'clock in the morning, because I live on a lake, and it's a pretty safe neighborhood. It's a pretty safe neighborhood. And I was walking around the lake, and I'm walking around, and I see this little boxcar, freaking Scion piece of crap, freaking toaster oven thing, drive by. One, no one's driving around this area at this time. It just doesn't happen. That's why I walk then. And two, so that was an instant thing. Two, when I freaking, there's a little, around the bend a little bit, there's a parking lot. And when I came around that, there they are, hanging outside of their freaking car. And there's 3 of them, 2 guys and 1 girl. And they start acting goofy and trying to be ninja and everything and hide behind freaking, hide behind crap. And I'm from California. Well, I'm not from California, but I spent 8 years of my life in California, living in California, and I'm from Colorado. I know what marijuana smells like, and I actually support the legalization of marijuana, but that's for a different subject. But I could tell they were high off their freaking knockers. I could smell it in the open. And I'm walking by, and I'm instantly on alert because red flags are flying up all around. And but I walk on, and I continue on. And then as I pass and I hear giggling, I hear someone running up behind me. And it's the girl, and she's running up, fist raised, trying to freaking slug me. And when she sees what I was doing, and I was instinctively reacting, I was in the process of doing a rear elbow strike, and she managed to duck out of the way just in time, because my elbow was where her face would have been. And then she just walks away and laughs it off. And there's 3 of them there. I'm in a bad spot. I fully recognize that if they do something, I have no way of stopping it. So I did what I knew would work. Would probably be my best option of working. And I played psychological games. I just straight up told them shit that I knew would scare them. Or should scare them. Or should intimidate somebody. And I over-dramatized certain things, but on purpose. I played psychological games. And she realized what kind of shit she was about to be in, which was the message that I was trying to get across. Right as I heard somebody coming up behind me, which was the other dude that she was playing ninja with. And he straight up, I turned around, grabbed my knife out of my pocket, and released it and got into a fighting stance, ready to strike. Right as his fist was coming in. Just coming in to slug me. And he froze solid when he realized that I had a knife pointed at him and coming at him. My knife would win over his slugging. Especially because I know how to take a hit. It's one of those blessings of being in the Marine Corps, is that you get punched in the Marine Corps and you learn how to take hits. But so point being though is I could have very easily killed him. I stopped when I realized that he stopped. But that's just because I've taught myself to always assess in a real life situation. Someone who is constantly analyzing as I am would have followed through and would have not hesitated, and he would be dead or seriously injured. That's the thing. And I'm trying to get across here with this long, serious talk that this has turned into. If you're walking around and doing stupid pranks like trying to scare someone by looking like a homicidal dude, or if you're trying to do something that's obviously pissing someone off, or if you're just trying to walk up, slap people, sexually harass people, whatever, one of these days you're going to find out very quickly that that isn't what you want to be doing. One of these days, you might lose your life because of a stupid prank. And you might ruin somebody else's because they had the confidence and the means necessary to defend themselves. And it's not just guys. One of these days you might walk up and try and freaking slap a girl's ass, and as a prank or for whatever reason, and she might turn around and freaking do what I did, because it's not a sex-based thing. Anyone can do it. There are many women out there who know how to do what I do, and know how to do it even better than I do, and they might just turn around and stab the shit out of you. You never know. You know, and that's really the kind of discussion thing that I'm trying to get across here, is that please, for the love of God, or whatever greater being that you believe in, whatever you believe in, whatever you don't believe in, whatever, please, for the love of the frickin' universe and my sanity, and the sanity of many people, and for the love of peaceful society, and just plain frickin' common sense, think before you do some of this stuff. For self-preservation, if anything. Think before you do this stuff. And please, the rest of you, YouTube, the internet, you're partly at fault. I'm sorry, I'm calling it like it is. We, as a society, like our entertainment, even if it's at the cost of other people. I'm somewhat guilty of this myself. Please, do not encourage this stuff. Do not make it famous. Don't go around, as you saw through this, minus Sam Pepper, which was the discussion topic. I have not mentioned or dropped the names of any of these videos or any of these YouTubers that I'm talking about, or any of these situations, because I don't want them to be famous. I want this message to be famous. I want us to realize, as a society, that being offended is not the issue. That being offended happens. It's part of life. It's part of being in a free society. It's part of being in a democracy of any format. It's part of being alive. Being offended is part of that. Having stupid people do stupid shit is part of life. And we're never going to get rid of all of it. But stop making them famous. Please, stop making them famous. They do it because we encourage them. They do it because they know it makes them famous, or can make them famous. Historical account, and one of my personal heroes for, as a child growing up and everything, just as a historical study case thing, is Edward Teach, aka Blackbeard. Blackbeard. Yeah, can't talk. I've been talking for almost an hour now. I'm going to finish this up. Promise. Edward Teach, when asked why he wanted to be a pirate, why he wanted to do what he was going to do, he simply replied, because I want to be immortal. Not a direct quote, but essentially what it was. And what he meant by that. And what he meant by that was history. He wanted to be famous. He wanted to go down in history for something. He didn't care what. And he recognized that society makes more people who do stupid, evil things famous than they do the great things. The things that raise society. You know, how many people out there know who came up with the idea of faster-than-light travel, working real faster-than-light travel that actually works in physics? Who here knows? I do. Do any of you? No? Alright, how about the dude that came up with the first hybrid engine? Anybody know? I know. But do you? Alright. Who here recognized the name Blackbeard? Everybody. Who here recognizes the name Hitler? Everybody. Who here recognizes the name, or recognizes at least the incident of Columbine? Everybody. Who here recognizes the attack on Owada, that's what it is. Who here recognizes that? Just happened recently. You know, it doesn't take much. News gets ratings by making things that are negative public. And we as society have grown to be towards that kind of entertainment. And it needs to change. We need to be celebrating smart intellect and making people who have done amazing things famous. Not everything else. Not stupid pranksters going around slapping people's asses. Not stupid freaking people going around chasing people around with knives. Not fucking rapists and serial killers. They do it because they want to be famous. Most of them do. And they do it because we make them famous. And that will never change until we stop doing that. Anyways, this was never meant to be almost an hour long. And oh my god, I can't even talk. I've been talking so long. That's the point, though. All right, guys, just that is this discussion. Heck, it's gotten dark outside while I've done this. So, I will see you guys next time on Seth 2.0 TV. And please, if these kind of the serious discussions is something that you're interested, please let me know. Please like the video. You know, and always keep in mind that controversy might be discussed here. And I will give a warning at the beginning of every of these videos. And with that being said, subscribe, come back for more, or don't, whatever. Pass the word around. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.